Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. What can I not say about this film? When I was a kid, I loved it. To this day, I love it. It's my favorite out of the Indiana Jones franchise. For a third part of a trilogy, as you know, to be so good, that's very rare. We know we've had the Spider-Man 3s. You know, we've had X-Men: The Last Stand. So we know that for a third movie, that's when you really figure, okay, they're just making it for the money. No, not with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade follows Indiana Jones as he's searching for his father, who has been searching for the Holy Grail, Christ's cup, in his entire life. Now, his father comes up missing, his diary gets mailed to Indy, and Indy's like, I gotta go save Daddy. Who's Daddy? Played by none other than James Bond himself, Sean Connery, and two wonderful performances all around. When these two finally do end up meeting each other, it's in the funniest way possible. It's a fake. I remember watching this movie as a kid. I remember thinking that it just had this majestic quality to it, and I don't know if that was just part of the soundtrack or if that brought me into it, or if it was just the fact that it was just so much better than Temple of Doom. There's a scene when Indy and this chick are going through these catacombs of the first night, and all these rats start running. It kind of took me back to the Temple of Doom when the bugs were crawling in it, but it was a little bit more because it was just the rats, and it was a disgusting scene, but it worked, and it put you right there. And like I said, the action scenes, every single one got you. It didn't matter if it was a car chase, a motorcycle chase, a boat chase, an airplane chase, a tank chase. Every single action scene, nothing seemed over the top in this film. It was like, man, that was great, and it was necessary. It was full of emotion. It invested me. It pulled me in. The character development just made you really want them to succeed. One of the parts I enjoyed most about the film was actually the very beginning of the film, which features a young Indiana Jones as he's trying to get this cross that used to belong to Coronado back from these thugs, and he does an excellent job of now you see me, now you don't, and he eventually gets away with this cross before he gets stopped by a sheriff and is forced to give it back. But Indiana Jones was played by River Phoenix, the late great River Phoenix, and he pulled off a wonderful job as a young Indiana Jones that really kind of lets you into the mindset that this character has had in every single chapter of this series. That go-getter mentality, this belongs in the museum, and it was a beautiful scene. It was a great opening to the third chapter of this trilogy, and it's unfortunate that River Phoenix is not with us anymore, but I enjoy the fact that he did get in some way play one of the most iconic characters in movie history, if not for just a little bit, and what was ultimately a really great scene. This movie is not only one of my favorite Indiana Jones films of all time, it's one of my favorite films of all time. That's why it's number 4 on my list, because there's just so much to love about this movie. It sets you in mind of Raiders, that mood, that tempo that you had with Raiders of the Lost Ark, maybe times 10, and everything just works so perfectly and so well. And it's hard not to like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm sure you can find faults with it. I choose not to, because to me it's just one of those movies that I consider movie magic and movie gold. And it's one of those movies I enjoy to watch to this day. It's a wonderful cinematic masterpiece. I enjoy to watch it over and over again, and it's just a timeless piece of cinema. And if you haven't watched it, I'd go check it out. If you have checked it out, check it out again. Everything about the film was wonderful. The action, the actors, the performances, the father-son relationship. I could go on and on, because it's just a movie that, as much as I like to watch it, it's just as much fun to talk about. There's really nothing more to say except Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's the truth. That's the balls. Thank you for listening to my review. Number 3 is coming soon. I'm the Albatross, and I'm out. Peace.